Warning, the views and beliefs in the following program does not reflect the views of Boom Broadcasting. We give full creative control to our creators and do not believe in cancel culture. Welcome back to the Nightcap. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live from the MOWM studio, Boom Broadcasting presents The Nightcap. And your host of The Nightcap, mouthing off with Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nightcap here on Boom Broadcasting, hosted by yours truly. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, your eyes do not deceive you. There is now another Mike here in the fold, reuniting here with my tag team partner, the president of Boom Broadcasting, host of Out of Pocket, Drop the Mic, and about 30 different other shows here on Boom Broadcasting. He is the Prez. That's Michael Davis. I am the Mike that likes to mouth off. I'm mouthing off with Mike. Prez, welcome back to the Nightcap.
Dude, it has been a long time since I've been on here with you. You've been holding down the fort pretty well with several other guests. I saw Rick 8-Bit, saw Sean Tortellini. Dude, you've been kicking it. Also, a little bit by yourself, doing some solo action. I love you, Solo.
Oh my goodness. He's back, folks. He's got a haircut. Shout out to the haircut. Looking good here. Looking like a stud. Looking like $1 million here. Prez, it's been a long time since you've been on the Nightcap here. So welcome back. Have you had a chance to watch the Elimination Chamber Nightcap yet?
I have not had the chance to watch the Nightcap.
Fantastic.
Right?
So we're going to have a great old time here tonight, folks, because he hasn't seen Chamber Nightcap yet. Perfect. Shout out to Sean here from the Chamber Nightcap. You can go check it out on Boom Broadcasting. He said, I guess Triple H, man, he tuned into the Nightcap last Saturday and heard our comments on women's booking. You know, Sean, like I said, I make the joke. It's starting to not look like a joke anymore, guys. I think I'm wiretapped. I'm going to have to get one of them devices and see if there's any bugs here in my house. Logan James.
Those must be happy tears. Those must be happy tears.
Those are tears of joy for our frequent flyer here on the Nightcap. Logan, I know he's a big EO Sky fan. Wayne is in the building here. Gentlemen. Sir, how are you? Prez, you picked the right Raw to come back on the Nightcap. Very eventful episode of Monday Night Raw. From the opening brawl to the ending that I think shocked just about everyone when it comes to the Women's Championship. So, little Uno reverse card coming your way. We're going to start off tonight's Nightcap with the Women's World Championship match. We're going to do the main event first here tonight on the Nightcap. Prez, after an incredible Elimination Chamber premium live event this Saturday, we knew that Bianca Belair will challenge the winner of Rhea Ripley and Io Sky tonight here on Monday Night Raw. And before this match, my betting odds on was a Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair match or a triple threat match. Mike, were you on those same betting odds as I were, or were you betting on a different sports book than me?
I was betting totally opposite. I mean, I walked into tonight thinking, oh, we get Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair, a match that we've needed at WrestleMania, of those in their prime. And I was like, whoa. I mean, even with Rhea and Bianca's like exchange on the outside, I'm like, there's no way Rhea doesn't kick out. And then Mommy didn't kick out. Why?
Mommy didn't kick out, dude. Mommy took her eyes off the prize. ZWC says, it's the Prez. OMG, thought he was dead. To quote CM Punk, LOL. OMG, Kevin Nash thought he was dead.
LOL.
LOL. Was this an audible? Wayne asked. Mike, was this an audible? Did we call a Blue 42 in the huddle?
I don't know. To me, I think WWE does long-term storytelling. I mean, you have that with The Rock, showing up at Bad Blood and doing the 1, 2, 3 and slitting the throat. And he did it this past weekend, Elimination Chamber. You guys covered that on the Chamber Nightcap, which I don't know if I should go back and rewatch. So
I think you should.
Okay. Am I going to get a little bit of money from that Nightcap?
If in the words of our good friend Rick 8-Bit, I put the F in fines.
Oh no. But with the speaking of, he is chatting right now through your X account onto the Nightcap. So shout out Rick 8-Bit right there. Say his name, he appears. But dude, I would want to go ahead and say that I am shocked, but I kind of agree with Rick 8-Bit that Rhea somehow getting into the title match at WrestleMania, because Bianca won the Chamber. Io is the champion, so she'll obviously be going to WrestleMania. You got Rhea Ripley, who just lost the title, and I don't know how you make it work, but somehow, some way, they're going to work and weave Jade Cargill into this, and we're going to get a fatal 4-way.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on a sec. Wait. What did it? Wait. Did you just say we're gonna? Okay, we're gonna insert Jade into this women's match and make it a fatal 4-way because Jade and the Bianca and the Naomi story. You're not content with Jade versus Naomi. You're greedy and you want to throw Jade in this match.
Oh yeah, we're not getting Jade and Naomi at WrestleMania. We're going to get Jade Cargill probably putting Naomi on the shelf before WrestleMania, and we're going to fire ourselves into a fail 4-way somehow, some way.
Did you watch Chamber?
I did.
Okay, so then you saw Jade beat the living ever holy hell out of Naomi in the Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
So there's your written off television, I guess. Maybe. Hate to see her miss WrestleMania though, dude. Hate to see it.
But dude, I don't remember the last time I turned off Monday Night Raw and was just like genuinely surprised at a title match outcome. Like this caught me by surprise, dude. I was like, there is no way that just happened.
I mean, it was an incredible match. Rhea and Io, incredible chemistry here tonight, folks. Bianca being ringside. That was it, man. Rhea got distracted by Bianca, and that was it. That was her fate. It sealed it right then and there for her. She ended up taking her eyes off the prize, letting Io get an opportunity. She hits that Hurricane Rana. She hits the what do you call it? The over the moonsault. Oh my goodness. Logan would have been pissed at me if I didn't get Io's move.
He probably is.
Oh, he's probably super mad at me already. And then there you go. 1, 2, 3 shock title win. And honestly, I felt this might have been coming. I could see this kind of being something Triple H does, because I thought the Creeds were going to drop, or the War Raiders were going to drop the titles tonight for a shock title drop. I figured somebody was changing titles here tonight. Titles were changing hands between these 3 title matches. Didn't expect it to be this match though, but Io Sky versus Bianca Belair at the current moment is set in stone. I think you're right, Mike. I think Rhea gets her rematch. She's got a rematch clause. Shout out Chano. 4 sides of the ring said, "Oh, there's a rematch clause here. She's gonna get a chance for the title. Maybe she makes it a triple threat. Maybe you're right, Mike. Maybe Jade Cargill gets inserted into this match at WrestleMania, and this becomes a fatal 4-way. You might be right."
Because I also look and I'm like, Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair may sell in terms of just like the actual names, but when you go into the actual match, I mean, I don't know if Jade Cargill's up to speed to have a one-on-one WrestleMania Classic with Bianca. So inserting Jade into a multi-woman match where you also have Rhea, where you also have Io, where you have Bianca, I mean, that protects Jade Cargill from being overexposed, and it just starts to make sense.
I'm not mad at it. I'm really not. I like that idea, Mike. It's great to have my tag team partner back. It's great to have him, be on some crazy brain lengths this week. Because honestly, after John Cena's heel turn, and what we saw at Elimination Chamber, I'm going to be honest. Anything's possible after seeing this on Saturday afternoon. So this happening tonight and potentially a fatal 4-way happening at WrestleMania, honestly, I could see it, Prez. Good insight. What a time. You came back here right at the right time, Playboy. All right. We can come back to this later on if you guys have any more thoughts that we need to break down. Anything pops up, we'll break it down. But let's get back to the beginning of Monday Night Raw here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We got a good old-fashioned CM Punk crash out to start Monday Night Raw. Mike, I loved every second of this. From the fact of CM Punk knocking over the Prime's hydration station before he even says a word on the mic, he knocks that Logan Paul shit off, and he goes right in to calling The Rock a bald fraud. I love it. We're back, baby. We've never been more back in WWE than we have been back in this current moment. Prez, what was your reaction to seeing CM Punk crash out? Telling John Cena, telling The Rock that they're full of, it's all bullshit. This mana, your goosebumps, just get rid of this bullshit. CM Punk said. I loved every second of it.
Dude, this felt like CM Punk pipe bomb moment. Like that energy. Yes, exactly. Thank you,
Baby
Derek.
pipe bomb tonight.
Dude, Derek, it was like that because, I mean, the energy he had against The Rock and John Cena many, many moons ago, and the fact that he's able to recall that anger and that frustration. And yeah, I'm missing out on another WrestleMania main event because of The Rock and John Cena. That is what happened tonight to start off Monday Night Raw. But now he has his undivided attention, as he says, on Seth freaking Rollins. And dude, even after that pipe bomb, shows like whether you love him or hate him, he's still one of the best talkers in wrestling, period, no matter the company.
Play the promo. Every time I hear CM Punk cut an incredible promo, he is the best on that mic, in that ring, and hell, even on commentary. So truer words can never have been spoken by the old man himself.
I don't know. I like Pat McAfee more on commentary, but I digress.
I wouldn't be standing on any Pat McAfee business after this week. A lot of people giving him shit. A lot of people are not fans of Pat.
But dude, what I liked even more than the pipe bomb was I love the brawl because, dude, I mean, usually you get your typical brawls. You're like, oh, let me go, and oh, maybe we break once or twice, but no, they absolutely hate each other, and you just felt the intensity. And it reminded me of like when you're in middle school and there's two kids fighting at it, and everybody's crowding around saying, "Fight, fight, fight!" I mean, that crowd in that arena, like, really elevated that brawl as well. Of like,
oh yeah, dude. Buffalo, we're in Buffalo, New York tonight. You know Buffalo loves a good hockey fight.
All we were missing was the Bills Mafia table.
Rick Apid, I'm jealous. Cage match next week, made official, Madison Square Garden, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Mike. Do you feel it in the air? Do you feel it? Do you feel it? Because I'm feeling it, folks. I'm feeling it. Next week, MSG, Steel Cage. I'm feeling it. You might have to get those ones up. It might be time. It might be time. Listen, I do want to say a couple things here. 2 key points made tonight in this promo by CM Punk. Great line. When I get my hands on both of you bald frauds, you're going to make a wish I didn't. Loved it. Loved it.
Balding Cena.
Balding Cena. Yep. Throwing shots here. Seth Rollins. Becky, you better get your man or else I'm putting him in a wheelchair. Becky just took to social media about 5 minutes ago, quote tweeting a Twitter fan's account of CM Punk and Roxanne Perez similarities between their matching gear. stating, just got caught up on Raw. I don't think I need to check my man like you do. Referencing a little AJ Lee and with a little fanning of the fire there and some key allusions regarding Roxanne and Punk's matching gear from Chamber, which might have been inadvertent. Both were in black and maroon. Yes, Mike, that did happen.
To make matters worse, other than a couple retweets, Becky hasn't posted since December. So she made it very clear she wanted to say something tonight. So she didn't say it out of being an avid, tweeter or Xer or whatever we want to call it. She actively went to social media today.
Let's take a look. Catching up on Raw. I don't think I'm the one who needs to come get my man. There's your tweet right there.
Sorry, AJ. You had to be dragged into this. I'm so sorry.
You had to be. You got dragged into it. We're going back. We're going back to our original
roots.
We're getting back to our form here. It's like the Power Rangers dog with the Megazord. Now we're back. We're connected. Make a wish. Loved it. Great opening segment to Raw. Honestly, I was ready to run through a wall. I was ready to rip my shirt off, run through a wall, start screaming at the TV. I gave a couple Raws, couple barks at the TV when they started brawling around the arena. And the brawl didn't stop just then. They brawled backstage. And finally, Pierce made the match. So 10 out of 10 here. What a win. What a great start to Monday Night Raw tonight, Prez.
That was a hot start.
Hot start. Hot.
And then it died down.
Nah, don't say it. Don't say it.
In my opinion, it died down.
It didn't die down. Otis versus Gunther was a solid match. Otis got his stuff in. Gunther made him look good. Otis made Gunther look like the absolute monster he is. Alpha Academy just keeps getting fed to poor Gunther. And then Jey Uso got put to sleep. So it advanced the story for WrestleMania, Prez. It did what it needed to do. With 10 weeks out, I enjoyed it.
If you're given the caveat of 10 weeks out, sure. But I just know if I was in attendance and I got Gunther versus Otis, come on. I'm not wanting to be mean, but if you really wanted to shock the world, you have had Otis roll up Gunther, and then we get another multi-man match for the world title. Have Mandy Rose come back, help Otis, and then Otis turns on Kira Tozawa and Maxine Dupree. But other than that, it was just like, wow, Otis and Akira Tozawa are the ones who get fed to advance other stories. It's just
at least they're on TV. They're popular. People like them. People like to cheer for them. Did you just give me a Wicked reference on the Nightcap?
I had to watch that movie. I mean, I
had to. It was a solid film. I was reluctant to go see Wicked myself. The Mrs. Malinoff with Mike took me to the movies. I was in a car ride home. I was listening to them songs with her. It was a solid musical. I feel like they got robbed from the Oscars last night.
Really?
I felt like they should have won more.
Well, you know what? Who should win more? Otis. So he's not taken like a joke.
All right, listen. That's his gimmick. He's a comedy act.
Exactly.
Him and
Otis
Tozawa are comedy. So what? It's fine. It's okay.
It's like
Wicked was a classic. Can't wait for Wicked Part 2.
Sean's got to review it. Sean's got to review it on his show.
Yeah, what the hell, Sean? Are you going to do an It Stinks episode on Wicked? We just made this man's life harder. He's sitting there right now, and he's like, you mother... He's like, Prez, go yourself.
Now that would be popular.
That would be very popular. God, what? Why? Did you just see it or something?
I did. It was just like, yeah, it's whatever. But yeah, Gunther. Yeah, it was just like, it was okay, like not what I was expecting after the Punk and Rollins brawl. It was like we started up at 10 and we dropped down to like a 4.
Wow. Okay. Well, we gotta talk about Logan James. Io Sky is a Grand Slam champion. Yes, she is. Shout out to the genius of the Sky, Logan. I'm a big Genius of the Sky guy myself, just like you are. So I'm excited that she won tonight. It's different. We're gonna get some used to it. Drew Code Sports Talk said CM Punk versus Rock at Mania. Doubtful. But maybe. Listen, Drew, we might have to put a pin in that one, and we might have to have a discussion about that later on. There's a possibility that you could work that out. There is a favor owed to Punk by Paul Heyman.
If we get Seth Roman and that's the move for Mania, I wouldn't be mad at Punk versus Rock, especially when you realize Punk's 434-day reign as champion was ended by The Rock coming back as a part-timer.
Apropos versus The Rock at WrestleMania 41, takes his People's Championship and just, puts an X through it. I feel like I've seen that somewhere. Anyway, I feel like I've seen that somewhere. Oh, well, speaking of seen somewhere, Mike, did you see the news? Have you heard the news? Have you heard the news?
The news?
Rey Fenix is no longer on the AEW roster page. Take that with a grain of salt. Rey Fenix is no longer listed internally in the AEW roster. Let's see what happens. Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Lyra Valkyria versus Ivy Nile. I enjoyed this match. Let's hear what the Prez has to say about this one.
So I would have actually, and I know we'll talk about that other match a little later, but I would have had one of these titles change hands. Either Women's Intercontinental title or the World Tag Team titles, because I feel like putting this match first, I was like, okay, Ivy actually has a shot to start telling the story of, oh, maybe while Chad Gable is away, maybe they are collecting the gold. And maybe Chad Gable does figure out how to beat the luchadors while he's away. And like, you can start making American made like better and more of a legitimate threat on the roster. So for Lyra to win, I'm not entirely surprised. She hasn't had the title super long as the inaugural champion. She didn't lose it to Dakota Kai. It's just like, I really hope there's a direction with this championship. I mean, you talk about it all the time on the Nightcap. Like, there's sometimes just not a direction when it comes to the championship.
Well, I've said this I'm going to say this till I'm blue in the damn face. This
like
was,
a Smurf.
This was just like a Smurf. Yeah, I guess so. No, but it's true though. I've said this many times on the Nightcap. Chano has been on the Nightcap with me and basically said this was basically like a Band-Aid over a gunshot wound. That's what the mid-card, you have to give credit where credit is due to Chelsea Green. Because if the U.S. title, and this is not a disrespect or shade to any other woman on SmackDown, if the U.S. title is on anybody but Chelsea Green right now, that title is just as much as an afterthought as poor Lyra's IC title run is right now. And you can argue that with the Wall, with your brother, with your sister, your cousin, your mother, whoever you want to argue it with, but it would be the truth. Chelsea's such an entertaining value act in WWE that she can make it work. Lyra, on the other hand, Mike, you can agree with this. I'm sure you've seen me say this in the past. They never let Lyra tell us who she is and why she is so privileged and honored to be the IC champion. We know Lyra. I'm Irish. My name means the goddess of the birds or something. That's all we know. That's who Lyra is. I'm Irish. I was trained by Becky and Finn. I come from the same school. I've wanted to do this my entire life. That's all we know.
Mm-hmm.
No depth before she got the title. Chelsea got depth. She has character depth. She's got one of the deepest character development that I've seen out of a lot of the women outside of a few. So I don't fault Lyra for this. I fault Triple H for not saying, okay, here's my IC division. Here's my US division. These are the 5 women that I'm going to run these stories with to get them to where they need to be women's mid-card champions. So far, we know 3 of them. Lyra, Ivy, Dakota. Who else you got on that Raw roster, Mike? You got Zoe Stark. You got Shayna Baszler. You got Natty.
And Zoe Stark and Shayna even like together still because Sonya Deville's gone.
They're probably trying to repackage them and trying to figure out what they're going to do with them. If they're going to be a tag team, or if they're going to be solos act, or are they going to be friends that branch off? I bet you that's what they're trying to figure out right now.
I would have to be, but dude, Tony Khan gets attacked for it because he's like debuting these new stars or bringing them in from Japan or AAA or whatever. And people are like, oh, who is this guy? Why should I care about them? But like Triple H, yeah, you're exactly right, has done this. And he's done this with somebody he's put the inaugural women's Intercontinental title on.
It's the problem. Now, don't get me wrong. Lyra's incredibly in the ring. The Ivy is damn good as well here in the ring. I understand your point to having a quick title change, but then you're in the same position with Ivy that you are in with Lyra right now. Because they never gave Ivy her own character. She's just always been the Creed brothers. She's always been the Pitbull, quote unquote. They never told us who Ivy Nile is outside of a few of those, kind of items with the Creed brothers. So, same issue, different wrestler.
Yep.
We'll see what happens. Even though, listen, I will say, they did a great match. Lyra sold the knee tonight wonderfully. She got the quick win. I think you got to figure, because Bayley teased it tonight during a commercial promo, that she's got her sights set on the IC Women's. I also feel like Roxanne Perez is a name that you have to throw in the mix here. Whether she has a match with Bayley at WrestleMania or whether there's a triple threat for WrestleMania with the women's IC title, I just feel like we're fantasy booking too many multi-person matches. We're fantasy booking a fatal four-way for the women's championship. We're fantasy booking a multi-person match for the IC, for the US title, for the this title, that title. So I feel like everyone's fantasy bookings have all been multi-person matches because there's so much talent.
And there's so many interwoven stories. And that's the thing is like WWE with like their storytelling in the past, like you knew on January 1st, the entire WrestleMania card. You knew it. It was bland. And you just had to feel like 3 months of programming to get there. We knew Roman versus Brock. We knew this one versus that one. But now it's like, even with the Elimination Chamber, like we walked in and nobody knew who was winning those matches. I can't remember the last time that happened.
It's been a while. And that's the thing. I mean, everyone kind of jumped the shark and was like, WrestleMania build sucks. I mean, after last weekend, WrestleMania build has never been better or has been back and is nice and ready to go, baby. I think we're in for a buckle up, baby, because I think we're in for it this year on a road to WrestleMania because there's still too many unanswered questions. Too many. Like Ludwig Kaiser and Penta are far from over. Mike, great little segment here tonight. Kaiser and Penta. That ain't done yet. They got to be headed towards another clash. Something has to break down between these two.
Yeah, you mentioned Rey Fenix a few minutes ago. And I thought we were going straight into this segment right here. It was cool. I mean, I'm glad that the fans got to see Penta's entrance. If you haven't seen it in person, next time WWE comes to your city, or even 2, 3, 4 hours from your city, you got to go. I mean, it is special. I would have loved to have seen Pete Dunne kind of officially like align himself with Ludwig Kaiser. Even if Kaiser pinned him last week, I could have seen like, hey, we may not be on the best of terms, but we need to align to take out Penta. And that could be a great way to introduce Phoenix if Phoenix's return or debut to WWE is imminent. But dude, yeah, I mean, pretty easy. Ludwig was wearing a bunch of makeup though. It was almost way too noticeable.
Don't you dare talk about
it was caked
European
on.
Excellence.
It was caked
European
on.
elegance. That European elegance. I don't want to hear any of that.
Look, I need in the budget for 2 things. I need a budget for makeup. Actually, I don't. I mean, when you look like this, you don't need it.
Oh
But
my
where's the
God.
peanut butter fudge? I mean,
Well, shout out to I guess shout out to me for winning the Rick 8-Bits annual Rick Trophy for most entertaining podcast. So thank you, Rick, and shout out to Boom Broadcasting, as we did also win an award from Rick for Rick Trophy as up and coming sports content. So much love to Rick 8-Bit. Make sure you go check him out on Twitter. Go follow him and the Good Brothers, Booking Like a Mark. Go see who won the rest of the awards, because I believe some others had won some awards too. Roman Reigns saves CM Punk from the Rocks to start another Bloodline Civil War. You bet your ass. You bet your ass there's a third Bloodline coming. You already know. Good breakdown coming the last week of March when it makes its debut on Peacock. There it is, Sean. Genius. Genius. I like it. It's a good idea.
Good idea.
Why pay for it? Why pay for it? You can stream it on the Cock for free. Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
I got a question for you.
With me?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's in the box? What's in the box, Mike?
I mean,
What's in the box?
Chad Gable cracks me up with his facial expressions.
What's in the box?
Well, I have two inclinations. Either one, it's real American beer, or number two, it's the Mr. America mask.
I'm hanging up, bro. I'm hanging up. You didn't just tell me it's gonna be real American beer. For real, Mike? What's in the box,
dude? It's gotta be a luchador mask. Like, is Chad Gable? I'm almost serious about the Mr. America mask, because, I mean, it's American made, a luchador mask. Maybe Chad just needs a superpower of wearing a mask to beat the luchadors. I'm almost serious.
El Conquistadors are coming back, baby. Let's get it. Let's get rolling here. All right, comment.
The Creed's wearing conquistador masks.
There's about 200 of you guys on the Nightcap here tonight. All right, let's blow up the comment box. Let's make my life miserable tonight, so I can show all these comments. What's in the box, guys? What's in the box? The Patriot mask from the 90s Patriot wrestler. What's in the box? I'm going to tell you what's in the box. A luchador's mask is in the box.
That's what I said. Be original.
And I'm going to tell you what luchador's mask is in the box.
Who?
It's Rey Fénix's mask. Yeah.
What sense does that make?
Because hear me out.
I'll hear you out. I'll hear you out.
I was, listen, I had a couple conversations tonight with Shelton Benjamin, so, this might be a little out there. Chad got the mask of Rey Fénix, who is Penta's brother, because he needs to figure out that one thing that can help him beat Penta. So who's to say he doesn't show up wearing his brother's mask, throw him off his game, and beat him in a match in a week or two? Now that's a really bad theory. The other theory I have is I have absolutely no idea what's in the box, and they're gonna draw this out, and it's just gonna be nothing. It's gonna be a nothing burger. Chad got conned by the old man selling him. First of all, that mask was a Spirit Halloween special mask. There was some performance center dude in that mask. They recorded that somewhere in Orlando, like straight up. But I think it's got to be a luchador's mask. I'm going to say it's Phoenix's. Throws Penta off the game. Who's another beloved? I mean, you could get crazy here and
well, dude,
who's a beloved luchador? Rey Mysterio, but he would have a Rey Mysterio mask.
Yeah.
Who's another? I was gonna say
you start wearing thin when some of the luchadors, especially when it comes to WWE. The only thing I would
say, like, maybe like a parka, but you can't. I don't know about that. It's WCW, so does that really track?
Exactly.
You could say Mil Mascara. I'm gonna butcher that. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man of
But
1,000 Masks.
it would just be so hard for, especially like the Phoenix one or any mask that isn't WWE owned, is because like I don't think they could use like Phoenix's exact mask from AEW or his indie run.
They're using his mask. They're using Penta's exact mask.
Is it his exact mask?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are
Yeah.
you sure?
Yes, I'm positive. AEW shop never licensed masks to sell for the Lucha Brothers. That was where they dropped the massive ball. They never once sold a Penta or Phoenix mask one time in the 5 years that they were in that company for merch.
Okay, so there's a little bit of a difference between Penta and Penta's mask in WWE versus his one anywhere else. So to be fair, it can be close enough to the original.
Are you
Just
nickel and
change it
diming
up.
me over the guy's damn mask right now?
A little bit.
Oh, you son of a...
But hey, I get what
Sending
you're
your ass
saying.
to the
If
Shadow
they
Realm.
keep Phoenix's mask somewhat close, then I can see it. But the indie scene had to alter Rey Mysterio's mask when he was in Lucha and, running around at the All In pay-per-view. I mean, it does happen, but you can still recognize that person as like, oh, I know exactly who that is.
All right. I guess we're both on the same page. Luchador mask in the box. Chad Luchador incoming. So we'll see you next week, the American Luchador, Mr. Patriot. Damn, what a time to be alive.
What a time.
Speaking of Creed Brothers and American Made, we've got the WWE Tag Team Championships on the line here when the War Raiders defended against American Made. An incredible match. Julius Creed, Brutus, they keep getting better each week. The War Raiders, I love them. I love me some War. Mike, what did you think about this match here tonight?
Perhaps, and this is even saying with the main event, shocking ending. In terms of in-ring, this was probably the best match. And this is coming from a guy who doesn't like the War Raiders. If it was up to me, they wouldn't be close to the tag team title scene. They just don't interest me as much.
You're a hater.
I can be a little bit, especially with the War Raiders. They're just boring. It's like they kind of just belong in like the 2013 Ring of Honor scene and just like stuck there, with El Generico and Kevin Steen. I wonder how those guys are doing, by the way.
Can we fight?
I don't know.
We're about to recreate the opening segment of Raw here tonight on the Nightcap. You're gonna be Seth. I'm gonna be CM Punk.
Just all of a sudden, I look over past my shoulder and I see you coming into my room right here.
Oh yeah, I'm busting down that door, baby. You better get ready. That new
Busted.
haircut. I'm tussling that new hair all over the place. Don't you worry.
It's not long enough for you to grab and swing around.
From North to South Carolina, I'm whooping your ass.
But dude, who knew Brutus Creed could do like a 450 splash? I've
been watching them since NXT, baby. Diamond Mine. What's up? I knew that these boys had it.
I mean, I do like the Creed brothers. Shout out Julius, Duke alum right there. But no, this was definitely, I can point to probably the best match that either of these teams have had on the main roster. Just because of I guess they had the chemistry. They're like, we want to take it. We want to, elevate our game because it is WrestleMania. And honestly, these teams are fighting for a card spot at WrestleMania. I mean, there's always 5 to 6 titles that may not even make the WrestleMania card, that they may make the Raw before, the Raw after, the SmackDown before, and just kind of get lumped into that. And I'm talking about the tag titles. I'm talking about the mid-card titles. I'm talking about now the women's mid-card titles. There's only so many spots, and Triple H is not known for making a 10-match card.
Last year's Mania, both nights was 7 and 8. 8 and 7. That was your Mania cards. That's it. I expect the same this year. 7 to 8. That's all you're getting. That gives you enough for basically
4 hours.
all of the champions divisions on both nights. And that doesn't include one-off singles and tag matches that we'll see.
Exactly. So you're obviously not going to have a spot for everybody. And that's a shame because, we used to have pre-show or kickoff matches that would allow some of these guys on the card. But that's not Triple H's style. I'm not going to fault him for that. But these two teams showed me like, hey, we want a spot and we have to earn it. And in terms of in-ring competition, they made a case tonight.
Listen, I think you got to make the argument that these tag titles have a chance of not being defended on WrestleMania. And I think tonight was a match for both of these teams to say like, hey, look, maybe get the titles on Mania. Here's a reason. Look at how good we had this. Look at how good this match was. I think you're right. I think they made a case here for themselves. I also feel like they need to figure out the Raw Tag Team division. They figured out the SmackDown one. Then they forgot about the Raw one. And then they forgot about the women's mid-card divisions. So in wrestling, how many times have we said on the show, folks? If this is your first time tuning in, I'll tell you right now. You can't have everything in wrestling. You're either going to have a well thought out main championship division and a really solid women's division and a lackluster tag division, or you're going to have a really good women's division, a really good tag division, a lackluster world title scene, or you're going to have 2 or 3 or 4 of those. You're not going to have it all. You can't have your cake and eat it too sometimes. And I feel like that's what's happening here on Raw, where the main title pictures look really good. The tag division and the mid-card scene are lackluster again. Poor Braun Breaker's been the IC champ, and he's just been flapping his gums instead of spearing people and barking at them.
Maybe
So that's all.
Maybe Finn tries to get the Intercontinental title off Braun Breaker.
We know damn well it's going to be Finn versus Dom Mysterio at Mania.
That'll be pretty nice.
That's my call right now. I just don't know what the Mania card looks like. I think we got four technical matches at this current moment. So 4 matches. You figure 1 main event a night for maybe the women main event for night 1, men main event night 2. Obviously, Cody Cena's on night 2. Night 1, you figure Bianca and Io versus, for the title. Then you got to figure Tiffany and Charlotte's on night 2. Probably doesn't make the main event. Or you flip that around, break it down however you want, but that's how I see it. Gunther and Jay, night 1 with maybe Charlotte and Tiffany, night 2 with Rhea, or I keep saying it, it's still fresh in the mind. Bianca and Io and Cena and Cody. That's what I figure that's your night 1, that's your night 2 for the main card. That's 2 matches a night. You got 5 more matches to figure out per night.
Still got Seth and CM Punk. I mean,
you got to figure out what Roman's doing, what the favor is from CM Punk.
You got to getting Solo, Jacob Fatu.
You got to Solo, Jacob Fatu. What's happening with the U.S. title? What are we doing with the IC title? How about the tag team division? How about the women's mid card? There you go. That's 10. We're talking. That's it. You got 14 matches in theory between 2 nights. There's 10 of them right there, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't include the celebrity nonsense that we'll probably get. Obviously,
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul's going to be involved. So let's talk about next week, MSG. Logan Paul's getting called out by AJ Styles. You got Grayson Waller versus Jey Uso. You got a steel cage match with Seth and Punk, where we're expecting the Roman Reigns to return. And you have a tornado tag match with the New Day and the LWO. Next week's Raw is pretty stacked.
Yeah, it is.
You know what's also stacked?
What's stacked?
Boom Broadcasting. So tell the people what's going on this week on Boom Broadcasting, Mike.
Well, dude, we have all your stuff. 3 from Deep dropped earlier today. Quick hits, by the way. Shannon, Podcast Smitty is back. And he talked about the big heel turn from the Elimination Chamber between John Cena, Cody Rhodes, The Rock. Welcome back, Podcast Smitty. You've been missed, and we will embrace you and all the quick hits. And yeah, he did a phenomenal job with that. Out of Pocket came back today. I had Cody from Drew Code Sports Talk. That was a fun time. But there's been a slight program change where, sorry, wrestling fans, Drop the Mic
The
Wrestling
Nightcap is canceled.
podcast
Damn.
will not be happening on Wednesday. And I want to go ahead and tell the Cowboys fans in the chat that Dad and the Boys will not happen tomorrow. As a matter of fact, Dad and the Boys, you're going to have to wait till Wednesday at 3 p.m. to get Dad and the Boys. But tomorrow, I've made some moves. I've talked to my commish, Wayne Thomas himself, and for the first time ever, we're going to have a live Drop the Mic Wrestling podcast tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern with the commish. We're going to talk this Cena heel turn. We're going to compare it to Hulk Hogan. We're going to talk. It's been a year. It's been a year.
Said that nasty man's name on my podcast, on my show.
Hey, happy 1 year anniversary to Wayne. Me and him met a year ago. He and his lovely wife, and we got to watch Sting's final match. And we're going to talk about Sting tomorrow. So Sting, Cena, all the things tomorrow. And hey, we might dive into Ray Phoenix a little bit too. So that'll be a first ever live podcast for Drop the Mic on Boom Broadcasting with Wayne. I mean, what better can you ask for?
What more could you ask for, folks? I mean, yeah, let's talk about it. So, yeah, mouthing off with Mike, I did do my Elimination Chamber predictions, but I am also going to talk about John Cena this week. So, we're going to break it down, much like Mike and Wayne will be doing tomorrow live on Boom Broadcasting. You can stay tuned for mouthing off with Mike to have his own breakdown on my channel. As well as probably we'll be doing some predictions for AEW Revolution, which is on Sunday. I'm not sure if there will be a nightcap after Revolution yet. It just depends if it's in my schedule. Depends on, honestly, I got to see what the card looks like and how long that show is going to run, because your boy is, working hard, and I got a lot going on. Yeah. More working late because I'm a podcaster. I can't believe we got a Sabrina Carpenter reference, a Wicked reference here tonight on the Nightcap. I think I hit you with a Phil Collins reference. Good Lord. That's it. That's all I got, folks. Great Monday Night Raw. Great to have the Prez back here on the show. Thanks for joining me, Mike. Make sure you go follow at @B_Michael Davis. And make sure you go subscribe to Boom Broadcasting so you can offset some of my fines from the WWE Chamber Nightcap from Saturday. For every subscriber, Mike knocks off $20 of what I owe. So if you guys go subscribe, like 5 of you subscribe right now to Boom Broadcasting, I'm fine free. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching the Nightcap. It's been a pleasure. Shout out to Always Main Event Nate. What's good? You just came in at the wrong time because we're wrapping up for the night. But Nate, catch the replay because we talk about a lot of good stuff here tonight and possibly the return of your OTC. I know you'll like that. All right, guys, we're out of here. Bye. Thanks for watching the Nightcap.